Hi, my name is Nat. Today I'm going to present you our statistic term project. For the introduction, this report demonstrates how prices differ from each other in Istanbul. Our data set is monthly mean income rate of household, price per square meter, and level of development. Here you can see the analysis of our data set. Here is the histogram analysis. The first one is mean income rate of histogram. The second one is price per square meter. Both of them are right skewed or positively skewed. We can say that. For analysis of variance, the analysis of variance is a term of statistical test used difference between the mean of two groups. ANOVA answers the question of how much total variability in the outcome. For our values, household data mean is 4.43, the other one is 4.35, deviation is 2.10, and the other one is 2.77. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Azra. Today I'm going to be talking about examining differences in averages, proportions, and variability between two samples. To be able to examine differences for these values between two samples, we should use P and T test. So we can go. After finding the p-value, if the p-value is less than 0.05, the mean is independent. If the p-value is greater than 0.05, the mean is independent. When we do the calculations for these values, we can see these results. When we check these values from t-distribution table, they are smaller than 0.05, so it means that they are independent. The F-test is used to identify whether two populations have different variances. We use alternative hypothesis because the variances are different. When we do the calculations, we can see the values. So the different chi-square test. The first one is Gatensov fit test, a statistical hypothesis test used to see how closely observed data can reflect the expected data. When we do the calculations, the test fails to reject the normality for price per square meter, and the test fails to reject the null hypothesis for monthly mean income rate. The second test is test for independence. So we can see the formula for test for independence. After doing the calculations, the chi-square value is seen, and because the p-value is less, the test rejects. So the fourth test is normality test. When we do the calculations, we can see that, we can go on with the next slide. We can see that p-values are less than 0.05, so we reject the null hypothesis. So they are not normally distributed. Thank you for listening. That was my part.
Hi, I am Izan, and I will continue with association and prediction. The Pearson coefficient measures the linear relationship between two variables, range from -1 to +1. Pearson R formula is like that. Hypothesis testing on correlation. Null hypothesis, there is no correlation, P equals 0. Alternative hypothesis, there is a no correlation, P not equal to 0. Analysis of relationship between variables graphics are like that. Sign test, a non-parametric approach used to compare two related samples, and if we do apply this formula, we will not significant. Wilcoxon sign rank test, if we apply this formula, we will found not significant. Wilcoxon sum test, if we apply this formula, we will also found not significant. And Kruskal-Wallis, if we will apply this formula, we will p-value 0.0003. Spearman rank test, if we will this formula, we will 2 value. Wolfowitz rank test, if we will apply this formula, we will fail to reject null hypothesis.
Hi, I'm Burja, and I'm going to be talking about the results of our research. Multiple tests we've conducted has shown that there's a positive relationship between them. The tests we've conducted has shown a relation between these data sets that is similar to our hypothesis. Territories like Beşiktaş and Kadıköy having some of the highest values in each category is a good example of this relationship. However, there are some limits. Real life conditions are too unpredictable to give concrete ratios and statistics. In our case, positive relationship have shown between these values represent a correlational relationship, not a casual one. Some of the unaccounted for factors are whether the province is at the seaside, changing transportation opportunities. We must also consider the outliers we have encountered, such as Beykoz, that has high housing prices in spite of low man income. Supporting the underdeveloped resources and structures in order to increase life quality is a good suggestion to fix this. Also, practice in the less developed parts of the city, ensuring more affordable housing is one. For future research concerning this topic, incorporating more factors to the calculations, like variable overtime involving even more details, would be appropriate, since this is a complex topic that needs a lot of details. Thank you for listening to us.